Hello, I'm making this video as a starting point in what I hope to be an ongoing examination and record of my personal progress in walking my own path. I don't pretend to possess scholarly levels of intellect to deconstruct the human psyche and why people function as they do. I can only offer my own insight and experience in order to better help myself understand where I've been and where I could go. If that information is of help to anyone else do it along the way, all the better. So, what led me to MGTOW? The same as many men, I suspect. A lengthy relationship, things not feeling quite right, a psychologically jarring breakup, followed by shock, grief, confusion, anger, and self-inflicted pain. I'll save details of my own personal ground zero for another video. Safe to say that the split from my ex left me reeling, not just from trying to understand what went wrong or how I could get it back, but consequently from feeling I didn't belong in the world as I came to see it. In my grief from this perceived loss, I scoured the forums of MGTOW.com I'd previously visited while still in the relationship, relating to so much but still being far too blue-pilled at the time, and also began watching content on YouTube. Messenger Rising's video, Moth to the Flame, was a big red pill moment for me, and led me down the rabbit hole further to Stardust, Spetsnaz, Coterie, etc. It was one of the first building blocks in the framework I began to construct for myself, to understand what had happened and why. Of course, my first and biggest red pill was my girlfriend sitting me down and coolly informing me she had met someone else. The distant, clinical delivery, combined with the absolute lack of accountability for our actions, only making sense long after the fact, after my deepening dive into the MGTOW library and hearing other men's stories. Red pilling myself was painful, liberating and unnerving at various points, and I can't remember exactly what made me look up the term MGTOW way back when. Maybe a sense that something just wasn't right. Living a life you begin to see you've been told you should strive for, societal pressure, media, traditional upbringing, all factoring into it. All the while willfully averting your eyes from the numerous red flags and shit tests waved in your face. This is just how it's meant to be, right? Not being able to process how it is your fault that the woman you loved was seeing someone else for months and denied any responsibility for those actions or admitting to any wrongdoing. Yet, I have read other men's tales of horrific breakups, divorces, torn from their children, driven to bankruptcy and suicide, and realised how lightly I got off. Thankful that she did the deed before marriage and offspring factored into the equation. The knowledge I have gained and continue to develop and refine for myself literally saved my life. I say that in all seriousness, and with sincere gratitude to those who have contributed to MGTOW as a whole, through the various outlets and resources available. MGTOW changed me in many ways, and I am continually developing my own understanding of being my own man. MGTOW helped me to see how crucial all the information out there is to men, and why we should strive to keep as much of it online and alive as we can. It saved my life, as I said, has undoubtedly saved others, in a world that still doesn't seem to give two shits about men suffering and dying thanks to hypergamy, misandry, and demonising masculinity as a whole. MGTOW also helps in the crystallisation of the concept of being enough, of being selfish, putting myself first, not having to live solely for other people's benefit, focusing on my own needs, passions, drive, and the ability and space to examine each in turn, of putting myself front and centre in my own world, whilst further understanding the reality of the world around me. Yes, giving me a sense of depressive realism in so much of what I see around me, but knowing that applying logic and rational thinking to how I interact with that world is paramount in keeping true to my own newfound beliefs and safe from relapsing into a blue pill existence that would leave me either literally dead, spiritually dead, or a 70-year-old man wondering, how did I get it so wrong? Thank you for listening to the beginning of my story. I hope to expand further and maybe explore ideas that have been rattling around my brain these past 2 years of walking this solitary road. Peace and thank you again.